the elevator gave a violent shudder as it passed the 11th floor. I gripped the handrails forcefully and cursed under my breath. There was no one in the elevator with me, so I had no reason to play it cool and pretend like I wasn't claustrophobic as all hell and deathly afraid of heights. Well, I say there was no one there, but I did still feel a little embarrassed as I noticed that there was a camera in the elevator, peering down at me, its red light blinking slowly. On and off. On and off. I was mesmerized for a few seconds when the elevator suddenly lurched again, this time the lights flickering and going out for a second. I closed my eyes in terror and pressed myself into the corner, breathing heavy. The rumors I had heard of the elevator shaft claiming a victim just one summer ago seemed all too likely as I hyperventilated. The story of the small child who starved to death, trapped inside, was enough to make my blood thicken. Damn it, I didn't even want the job that badly. Why the hell did the interview have to be all the way at the top of the damn building? The elevator chugged onwards, the slight screeching and grinding of metal against metal letting me know that it was still ascending, as if the ever-increasing floor numbers weren't enough of a reminder. My knees were shaking and I just wanted the ride to be over. Surely on my way back down, I would take the stairs. No sooner did I think that thought than the elevator stopped short, the horrendous sound of twisting steel cables echoing throughout the elevator shaft as I was thrown off my feet. The world seemed to collapse around me and I could hear shearing metal. Laying face down on the tiled floor, I could tell that the elevator had completely stopped. But as I stood up slowly, the floor shifted below me, giving way and screeching downward several inches. My heart seized and I froze in my tracks. The elevator slowed to a stop again, and the echoing sound of vibrating cables slowly died out until it was dead silent. I stood, still as a statue, afraid to even shift my weight for fear of sending the elevator plunging downwards. It stayed this way, for what felt like, and probably was, hours. My legs were on fire as I stood in a squatting position, terrified to move up or down, or rest my weight on anything. Eventually, however, I physically couldn't maintain the stance any longer, and my legs buckled from under me, and as I hit the floor, the elevator forcefully lurched as a gruesome snapping sound exploded from above me. The elevator plunged multiple feet before whipping to a stop and causing me to smash my face against the floor. As I lay in a crumpled heap, my vision blurry and my heart hammering, I could feel the motion of the elevator. It was rocking, back and forth. My blood froze as I realized that this must have meant that the box I was confined in was either out of alignment with the rails or completely detached. Either way, based on the sound of stressed cables above me and the chilling wind seemingly echoing throughout the elevator shaft, one more movement could very easily be my last. I peeked my head up slightly, and everything was pitch black. I panicked at first, thinking that my head wound had made me go blind, but I soon realized that the lights had gone out. I could tell by the occasional surge of electricity arcing through the shattered bulbs, and by the red, blinking light of the camera. This actually gave me some hope, and I knew that someone had to be watching that security film. Surely someone knew I was in trouble. It was a fairly busy office building after all. Certainly someone would quickly realize that the elevator was broken. They would come for me. I knew it. That's what I told myself. For 12 hours. At some point, I thought I heard faint mumbling above me, and I could have sworn that a flashlight beam was just barely visible through the cracks in the elevator. But I couldn't really be sure. When this happened, though, I got extremely excited and shouted out for someone to help me. Or I tried. My mouth felt numb and cold, almost as if it was held together, and my cries for help came out as faint, muffled screams. I tried again and again with the same result, and my heart sunk in despair as I heard the faint voices fade away, leaving me alone in total silence once again. Occasionally, one of the overhead lights would flicker faintly, giving me some source of light, but it would always quickly die out again, and for another 6 hours by my estimate, I heard nothing. It was probably around 3 o'clock in the morning when the one light that usually flickered came on for good, and I could faintly hear a voice crackling through a speaker just below the floor button. My spirits instantly soared, but not enough to the point where I dared to move. The voice started saying, "We are aware that you two are trapped in there. Just hang on. We need you to..." The voice was suddenly severely muffled, like the speaker had been blocked by something, but there was nothing in front of it. I cried out in frustration. "What?" I screamed. "I can't hear you. Speak louder. I can't move closer to the speaker." I was greeted by faint crackling, and then the speaker suddenly cut to nothingness. Dead silence filled the oppressive walls of my prison. I waited for several minutes for the voice to come back on, but it never did. "Damn it!" I screamed out loud, very nearly pounding my fists on the ground in frustration. Something like another day passed as I lay there, losing my mind. The wind blew through the elevator and lightly caressed my face and hair. The light being on helped somewhat to ease my fear, but I couldn't relax in the slightest. How could I? Every now and then, the weight in the elevator seemed to shift all by itself, and it would start to sway again. When this happened, I began to start yelling out loud for it to stop, as I was certain that at any second I could be free falling downwards for 20 or more floors. I was sure I was beginning to hallucinate. At times I would hear things, and quite often I found that I was smelling some sort of horrific, rank, rotting scent. It was like it was right in front of my nose, a smell like something was decaying. I would often become nearly convinced that someone was lying right next to me, caressing my face and hair, but then I would realize it was still just a draft of the elevator. Finally, after what I was later informed had been a total of 2 days, the ceiling above me opened up and I saw 2 workers. My eyes burst into tears of joy as one of them extended his glove out to me and said, "It's okay, we've managed to stabilize the cables. You can move now. Here, take my hand." I went to stand up, but found that I was seemingly pressed to the ground. I must have been too weak from laying motionless the whole time. I can't," I cried. "I can't move." "It's okay," said the worker. "We'll come carry you out." As he poked his head inside, however, his face became puzzled. Where's your friend?" I looked at him perplexed. "The little girl who was with you," he continued. "We could see her on the security camera. Is she your daughter? That's why she slept with you, right?" My heart lurched, and as I tried to sit up, the weight pressed even tighter, and I could feel the warm breath hitting my face. The rotten, foul breath of something decomposing.